Hello, my name is Aubrey Hill and I'm going to be doing our video demo, which is our mini lesson for our second lesson plan. Our lesson plan is over the lunar phases. The first thing we wanted to do for the students after the video is provide them with a PowerPoint with all of the vocabulary words and the different phases that the moon goes through. There are 4 main lunar phases that the moon goes through, but there are actually 8 phases that complete all of the lunar phases. The 4 phases are the new moon, the first quarter moon, the full moon, and the last quarter moon. Next, I'm going to take you through what each lunar phase looks like. The first phase is the new moon, which is the lunar phase of the first lunar phase of the moon, and it occurs when the moon is positioned between the Earth and the Sun. Therefore, it looks invisible like the picture shows. After the new moon comes the waning crescent. That is when the moon appears to be getting smaller and is less than half full. And then we come to the last quarter moon, or what can also be called the half moon. This is the 4th phase, when the moon is at a 90-degree angle with respect to the Earth and the Sun. So we are seeing exactly half of the moon, and then the other half of is the shadow. Then we come to the waning gibbous. When the moon appears, this is when the moon appears to be getting smaller and it is more than half full. Then the full moon comes. The full moon is the 3rd phase, the 3rd main phase, where the moon is on the opposite side of the Earth, so we can see the entire moon. Then we have the waxing gibbous, which is where the moon appears to be getting bigger and it is more than half full. The first quarter, or which also can again be called the half moon, is the 2nd lunar phase, the 2nd main lunar phase, when the moon is at a 90-degree angle with respect to the Earth and the Sun, so we are seeing exactly half of the moon illuminated and then half of the shadow. This is just like the last quarter, or the other half moon, but the sides of the moon changes due to where the Sun is placed between the Earth and the moon. Then we come to the waxing crescent, where this looks like the moon is growing, but it still isn't half of a moon yet. This is just a slide that just shows all of the different lunar phases, and it starts with the new moon and goes to the waning crescent and so on and so forth. And this is kind of just to give the students an idea of the Earth's placement and the Sun's placement, so we can see how it affects the moon. Lastly, there are some additional vocabulary words that we feel are important for the students because these are words will be brought up throughout the lesson many times. The first one is moon, which is, they all know what the moon is, but we want them to know that the moon orbits the Earth. In orbit, obviously we want them to know what orbit means, and orbit is moving around something in a circular motion. Illuminate is what the moon does, which kind of lights up the night sky. In phases, we want the students to understand what a phase is, since we are talking about lunar phases. The illuminated portion of the moon that is seen by an observer. The lunar phases change as the Earth orbits the Sun. Lastly is a lunar eclipse. These don't happen very often, but it occurs when the moon, Earth, and Sun align and the moon passes through the Earth's shadow. Thank you.